Wednesday, January 14, 2026, AGNDD Intelli Report topic: U.S. will suspend immigrant visa processing from 75 countries over public assistance concerns. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this partially AI-generated article-based video. U.S. will suspend immigrant visa processing from 75 countries over public assistance concerns. By Matthew Lee, Associated Press, updated 4:09 p.m. EST, January 14, 2026. Washington, AP. The State Department said Wednesday it will suspend the processing of immigrant visas for citizens of 75 countries, including Afghanistan, Iran, Russia, and Somalia, whose nationals the Trump administration has deemed likely to require public assistance while living in the United States. The State Department, led by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, said it had instructed consular officers to halt immigrant visa applications from the countries affected in accordance with a broader order issued in November that tightened rules around potential immigrants who might become public charges in the U.S. The step builds on earlier immigration and travel bans by the administration on nearly 40 countries and is part of President Donald Trump's ongoing efforts to tighten U.S. entry standards for foreigners. The Trump administration is bringing an end to the abuse of America's immigration system by those who would extract wealth from the American people, the department said in a statement. Immigrant visa processing from these 75 countries will be paused while the State Department reassess immigration processing procedures to prevent the entry of foreign nationals who would take welfare and public benefits. The suspension, which will begin January 21st, will not apply to applicants seeking non-immigrant visas or temporary tourist or business visas who make up the vast majority of visa seekers. Demand for non-immigrant visas is expected to rise dramatically in the coming months and years due to the upcoming 2026 World Cup and 2028 Olympics, both of which the U.S. will host or co-host. Cable calls for screening of non-immigrant visa applicants. A separate notice sent to all U.S. embassies and consulates said that non-immigrant visa applicants should be screened for the possibility that they might seek public benefits in the United States. With the uncovering of massive public benefits fraud across the United States, the Trump administration is laser-focused on eliminating and preventing fraud in public benefits programs, said the cable that referred specifically to most non-immigrant visa applications and was sent on Monday. The cable, a copy of which was obtained by the Associated Press, urged consular officers to ensure that foreigners wanting to travel to the U.S. have been fully vetted and screened for whether they may rely on public services before they are issued a visa. The cable noted several times that it is up to the applicant to prove that they would not apply for public benefits while in the U.S., and said consular officers who suspect the applicant might apply should require them to fill out a form proving their financial bona fides. President Donald Trump's administration has already severely restricted immigrant and non-immigrant visa processing for citizens of dozens of countries, many of them in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. Consular officials must consider a range of personal details. The November guidance on which Wednesday's decision is based directed U.S. Embassy and consulate officials to comprehensively and thoroughly vet visa applicants to demonstrate that they will not need to rely on public benefits from the government any time after their admission in the U.S. While federal law already required those seeking permanent residency or legal status to prove they wouldn't be a public charge, Trump in his first term widened the range of benefit programs that could disqualify applicants, and the guidelines in the cable appear to go further in scope. Immigrants seeking entry into the U.S. already undergo a medical exam by a physician who's been approved by a U.S. embassy. They are screened for communicable diseases like tuberculosis and asked to disclose any history of drug or alcohol use, mental health conditions, or violence. They're also required to have a number of vaccinations. The new directive expanded those with more specific requirements. It said consular officials must consider a range of specific details about people seeking visas, including their age, health, family status, finances, education, skills, and any past use of public assistance regardless of the country. It also said they should assess applicants' English proficiency and can do so by conducting interviews in English. Experts said at the time it could further limit who gets to enter the country at a time when the Republican administration is already tightening those rules. The countries affected by the suspension announced on Wednesday are Afghanistan, Albania, Algeria, Antigua and Barbuda, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Bahamas, Bangladesh, Barbados, Belarus, Belize, Bhutan, Bosnia, Brazil, Burma, Cambodia, Cameroon, Cape Verde, Colombia, Congo, Cuba, Dominica, Egypt, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Fiji, Gambia, Georgia, Ghana, Grenada, Guatemala, Guinea, Haiti, Iran, Iraq, Ivory Coast, Jamaica, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Kosovo, Kuwait, Kyrgyzstan, Laos, Lebanon, Liberia, Libya, Macedonia, Moldova, Mongolia, Montenegro, Morocco, Nepal, Nicaragua, Nigeria, Pakistan, Republic of the Congo, Russia, Rwanda, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Senegal, Sierra Leone, Somalia, South Sudan, Syria, Tanzania, Thailand, Togo, Tunisia, Uganda, Uruguay, Uzbekistan, and Yemen. Conversation, Get Real America, 4HRS ago. It is time to get real about the immigration issue. America can no longer be everything to everyone. We have our own problems to address. Hunger is still prevalent here. And don't get me started on the drug problem. And the Dems need to recalibrate. Stop the grandstanding and sensationalizing. Start caring about your constituents, the real ones. Stop pandering to the slim minority, you know, the ones on government assistance, that can swing an election in your favor. And to you blue-collar Dems out there, the ones who work 9, 5, pay their taxes, struggle to make ends meet, yes, you find a candidate, one that really doesn't want the job as your senator or representative, yet is willing to make the personal sacrifice to take the nomination and make the tough decisions to serve you, not themselves. Stephen Probst. What about those of us trying to get our spouses here? I was born in the U.S. I am 100% 12 generations an American, and now they are suspending my ability to get my wife here who happens to be from Colombia. This is disgusting and tragic. Skeptical. I hope you can still get your wife in. I hope that this move doesn't apply to family reunification. Rolfie 53. 4HRS ago. Heaven forbid they spend money. 7,878. Americans may not like this president, but are relieved some administration is dealing with this. This is happening all over the world. Immigration is a problem. We need new solutions. The entire world cannot be absorbed into the U.S. We do not have the systems or infrastructure to run an effective immigration program. This is why we are seeing this madness in the streets with ICE, corruption, and fraud. This has been going on for decades. Trump of all people is the one to shut it down. I'd close all the borders, revamp the entire immigration system, offering temp visas for those who want to improve the conditions of their homeland. What sense does it make everyone running from where they are? How does it get better? Rob Roy, find another nation on this planet that does not manage its borders and immigration. Tad, 3 hours ago. We need immigrants, but there is the good, the bad, and the ulgy. I know a guy who owns an apartment complex here in California. All of the apartments are rented to citizens of Syria. None of them are English-speaking. He is an American citizen. His parents are from Syria. He speaks both English and Syrian. I was speechless when he told us that our government pays their rent with no sunset date. Totally unacceptable. Yet there are immigrants that come to our country and work. We need to keep them, FYI. I am not Republican. I'm simply an American who worked and paid taxes. I am now semi-retired. I do not agree with the far right or the far left. Both ends are a little cra-cra, LOL. Can we just get back to the middle and care about each other? Can we put our countrymen first and then help the world second? I understand it's complicated.
Thank you for watching this AGNDD Intelli report, dear viewers. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers.